name is Monty Ferris. This video is my presentation for everything that I've learned throughout my ESL Practicum. It's kind of an overview of everything that I've covered over the past 2.5 years. I'll be discussing the most important things that I've learned to me. We'll talk about my advocacy project from this year. I'll talk about strategies that I've seen that have had the most effect on education, things that I've learned that have helped make me a better ESOL teacher, and I'm going to discuss things that I would like to learn more about in the future. I'm going to start off with the most important things I've learned. I've learned about the history of ESOL education here in the United States. I've learned about the myths that about ESOL learners and what the actual reality is with a lot of them. But there's two things that kind of stand out the most to me that I've learned throughout this project, or actually the last 2.5 years. Number one is, we've talked about it before, even on my undergraduate, we hit on it quite a bit with my graduate courses, and that's learning about the SIOP model, the Sheltered Instructional Observational Protocol model, which is basically designed to make reading comprehension more accessible or easier for ELL students. There were, I think, 8 steps, if I'm correct, that go into planning, but the thing that kind of stood out the most for me was getting to build the background and getting to know the students and figuring out how can you make this content relatable and engaging to them, because if you can't make the connections, you're not going to have the success that you crave. And also, I've learned that modeling is important. You can model once, twice, 3 times. It's not going to be enough. You have to constantly be able to model for students what your expectations are, how things are supposed to look, what you want to see from them, how you want them to do work. Making sure to model nonstop. Keep showing students what you want them to do and how they should do it. Number 2 I want to talk about is my advocacy project. We had something that used to be called the Choices Fair for USD 259, but now it's called the Showcase for Choices and Opportunities. Basically, it was a promotion. We're basically promoting our school and trying to get more people to look at attending our school. I made a big emphasis this last year with our ESOL program. I believe that our ESOL program stood out beyond other ESOL programs because of the amount of experience in the building and the variety of instruction, and as well as the diversity in our school. We reached out to new families. I think we got a lot of positive feedback from new families, including my families, from different ethnicities and different backgrounds. And we even learned about things that we were happy with. And we also learned about things that were important to some of the other parents that we could do a better job of, like more extracurricular activities, especially geared towards like science that we don't have in our building. Families were wanting to know that, and so that gives us a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe look at trying to create those opportunities for kids in the future, ESOL and all. The number one thing that I think that helped out the most this year has helped me become a better ESOL teacher, was the most effective strategy was modeling, doing a lot of conversation where kids partnered up and worked together, doing a lot of what I call think, pair, share, where the kids think about whatever the answer they have, pair up with someone, share it. It gets them to share their ideas and have a little more confidence. I think that Doing a lot of repetition with a lot of writing and a lot of practice with writing, I think, has really been a very important thing for the ESOL students here. Um, I believe that still that partnering up and working together was the most effective way to do it, but I definitely did see examples or times where it did not go that well, or there's times where that wasn't enough, or I needed to do more. Overall, I think that working with partners or even a small group helped me, and working with other students who may be able to help explain it and break it down better than I could, whatever concept it was, that really made, I think, a real impact. Um, Over the past 2.5 years, doing this, going to Newman, and especially doing this practicum, it gave me an opportunity to, not work with, ELL students, but also gave me an opportunity, especially this year, to work with ELL students who may have special needs. Um, I think that presents itself a whole different set of challenges that I was really excited to kind of get my hands on. Because if it's a student who may have special needs, it's more in depth. It's definitely a lot more planning and a lot more decisiveness in terms of where do I go and how do I plan for this student? What accommodations can I make to help them have more success? It also has forced me to seek more advice from educators, special education teachers in my building, and I also got an opportunity to work more with my students' previous teachers and ask them for what worked with them, and got more input from them on strategies that they had success with. The one thing I'd like to know more about in the future is how do we do outreach for Asian families or families from the Middle East. Our school is very diverse. One of the things and that's one of the things why so many people have wanted to come to our school, but there's still a lot of ESOL kids who have come from or come from an Asian background, or there's some kids who are newcomers, who are refugees from war-torn places in the Middle East. What are ways that I can, when I get those students in there in my classroom, how can I get them the opportunities to have success in the classroom? What can I do to ensure that they don't fall into the cracks? That's what I want to learn more about in the future. That is my video log. Thank you.